This will be Numbers, Lesson 1, showing you how to create a Saint schedule spreadsheet in Numbers. We're going to be using the MacBook Pro here. And if you can remember, we're going to make something like this Saint schedule you see pictured here. To open Numbers on a MacBook Pro, you go to the dock at the bottom of the screen and look for the Numbers icon. It looks like vertical bar graphs, colored bar graphs. If you don't see it, then you'll have to call me to see how to do that for now. Once you open Numbers, it's going to give you an option. If you're in a folder that you selected, then you're going to select New Document. And there are so many templates, which is really good about Numbers. But in this case, we're just going to choose a blank Numbers. The first thing we need to do is set the title of our Numbers worksheet. Numbers is a spreadsheet. Usually, if you're working on a PC, you'll call it a spreadsheet, but in Apple, you'll call it Numbers. We need a title for our Numbers spreadsheet. The first thing we're going to do is select the title. We'll double click on it, and then we're going to triple click. Triple click tends to select the whole line. So we're going to put Saints Schedule 2021. Now, being a title, it's not very big, so we're going to triple click again. We're going to go to the paint icon, and then we're going to go to the size, the point size. Okay, so we're just going to keep making it bigger until we have the size we want. We'll click off of the paintbrush. This is not going to be the normal spreadsheet, because in the normal spreadsheet, if you click inside, you'll see that the columns are numbered, or they're lettered A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. We're going to put across this row 2, we're going to put the pre-games. So we'll start with right here. If we double click the cell, we can put pre-game 1. And then, so this area is going to be for pre-game 1. Then we're going to select here and write pre-game 2. Then we're going to go pre-game 3. It's easier to do a spreadsheet on the MacBook Pro because there's many more options and there's many things you can do that make it easier. Actually, I use a Microsoft mouse with my MacBook Pro because I'm so used to having a wheel in the center to zoom in and out, etc. There's also another way to zoom in and out with the magic trackpad, or the trackpad, but I usually turn off the trackpad on my MacBook Pro and use an external trackpad because I find I too many times am touching the trackpad and going to where I don't want to go. Now, the first thing to learn on the Numbers program on the MacBook Pro is hold down the Command key and then select cells that you want to change. If you hold the Command key and click on a selected cell, it unchecks it. So we're going to check that back. Now what we want to do is format all three at the same time. So we're going to click the paint icon. We're going to click the text, and we want to change the text to something easy to read like Arial. And we're going to go at least to 12 point, but really we want this to be a little more in bold. So we'll go to 14 point. That's the size of the character. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select B for bold. Now we have pregame 1, pregame 2, and pregame 3. Let's type in August 14th. And if we're inside of a cell and we hit the tab key, then we move to the right. That's important to know. The tab key moves to the right. So then now we're going to put August 23rd, tab, select, and then you modify. So if we click on the column B, this modifies the whole column. And if we click this column D, we select the whole column. Now if we hit the Command key and select B column, D column, and F column, now we can work on the three columns all at once. And what we're going to do, we're going to go to the paint icon, text, and then we're going to set the text to be in the center. So as you can see, all of the text is centered and we have good alignment now. Is select all of these dates. So I'm going to click the first one. I'm going to hold the command bar down, click these. Now I'm going to click the paint, and we want to go with the same font, which is Arial, and we will go to the size we want. We're going to do 12 point here. Now we're going to put in the opposing teams' names. First up is Baltimore Ravens. So let's type in Baltimore Ravens. So let's go to the paint bar, and we're going to make it Arial just like the rest. And we're going to increase this point size to, let's do it bigger, 14, because we want this to really stand out. Now we also may want to make it bold, so we click the bold. Now that pregame 1 is August 14th and it's against the Baltimore Ravens. One thing to note here is that the text wraps around. We can actually click off wrap text and it won't wrap. The text won't wrap around. And let's say we wanted to fit that whole name into the cell. All we really need to do is double click on the space or the line between the B and C columns, double click on it, double click here, and it'll fit that in. But we really don't want that because we want a lot of space going to the right. So what we're going to do is drag this back. Then we're going to click inside the cell, and we're going to do wrap text is checked off. Now it's back to where we want it. Now we're going to go to the next opposing team is Jacksonville Jaguars. We won't worry about matching this, the font right now. Let's go to the third pregame, and we're going to put Arizona cardinals. We want to match all of these styles. In this case, it's Option Command Copy, and then Option Command C for copy, Option Command V for insert. So what we're going to do, click on where we have the opposing team's name. We're going to go Option Command C, and then we click here in Option Command V, and it's going to copy that formatting. So that'll be the start of our spreadsheet lesson, or lesson 1.